There we go. All right, where were we? All right. So we get these two. I think we were getting ready to go work on this one. So there's a previous Crucible Knight that was kicked out by another knight named Pinhelm. They took his breastplate, and then he wants us to get it back. But first, we need to, he said, this Pinhelm forged his document that said he had a pure soul, and we have to try to figure out how he did that. There's House Dominal. We've already been to the sanitarium. We did a quest there. Let's go check out this Raymond Manor. I'd really like to make some big progress today, because I do want to push through this game, so we can get on to the second one and start looking at some ideas from there. I've thought about doing a Resident Evil playthrough, like all the remastered ones, knock those out, because I know there's the new Resident Evil coming out, so we can do the remastered ones, kind of like a tribute to that. Thought about trying to jump into Biohazard as well before then, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of games that we could easily throw in. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, throw them down in the comments. Let me know. Nope, don't want to steal. Don't want to steal. I have a feeling this is not where we need to be. Lord Raymond holds a shipping manifest in his well-manicured hands. Despite his expensive clothes, he has the sallow complexion and restless air of a man who devotes all of his days and most of his nights to work. If you have business to discuss, make an appointment with my attendant. I don't have time for unexpected visitors. I'm a lord of this house and not prone to idle chatter. If you have no business here, I suggest you be off. Such a nice guy. I mean, hands down, nicest ever. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I had to shut my office door. Kids are starting to get loud. I don't think this is the right spot either. Anything over here? No? Upstairs, maybe? We've been to, like, almost every house. There's one other building we haven't been to yet. Oh, here you go. The old serving woman regards you with bare eyes. Beg your pardon, but I'm afraid I have to ask you to return downstairs. Visitors are not permitted on the upper floor. Backhand her. Go back downstairs. Alright, well. Looks like we're not up there yet.
I'm ready.
Hey. Alright, there's not, doesn't seem to be anything here. House Dominal. See it. I proved Pinhelm's forgery. Crucible Keep and First Fires. Let's just go there. Maybe while we're there, we'll find out some information that'll lead us further. Oh, while we're here, actually, let's just do that. Alright.
Greetings.
The burly guard eyes you warily. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Dominal? I need to speak with Bricanta Dominal. If you say so, she's upstairs in the room at the end of the hall. Mind your manners. The woman must be well into middle age, but there isn't a line on her face. Her large green eyes are watchful behind a curtain of glossy black hair. She studies you. I don't believe we met. I'd remember you. I understand you control bitter squash seeds in Defiance Bay. I'd like to see the price lowered for the salty mast. She knows her eyes. I don't know who told you that, but even if it were true, you're asking for a favor, and I only do favors for friends. But we could be friends. I just need a little something from you first. What kind of favor do you have? She crosses her arms and watches you out of the corner of her eyes. There's a certain someone who may or may not be named Kelflig. He insulted me, and I'd like you to make an example out of him. Just what do you want me to do to him? I'd hate to stifle your imagination. She wrinkles her nose with a quick smirk, just to see you teach him a lesson that he won't soon forget. I suppose I could help. That's the spirit. She winks. I know that little runt holes up somewhere in Audra's gift. Once you've taken care of him, come back to me. I've got some stocks in reserve for special friends. Cool. Alright, then we gotta talk to that guy in Audra's gift. Let's go to First Fires first. Let's go to the keep. See if we can find this breastplate. See if we can get any progress from there. And then we're going to go over to Audra's gift because we have 2 quests to do there as well. Ducal Palace, Embassy, Crucible, Keep. Right here.
Gods keep you.
Aldmar gives you an appraising eye. Judging by the scars on the face, he's lucky to be able to do that much. Every day we get more from the hinterlands pouring into Defiance Bay. Keeps you busy on the watch, it does. You look like you're recently arrived yourself. Who are you? A soldier of the Crucible Knights, and proud of it. I help keep everything running in the keep so that Commander Cliver can focus on more important matters. Looking for something, or just knocking the dirt off your boots? Tell me about the Crucible Knights. We're defenders of Defiance Bay. We're not exactly formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Cliver I said that. He grins. We were the first organized militia to oppose Adrian rule, and today we are the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training, and our officers are required to have their souls read by that critter out in Dunrid Row. What's this about Dunrid Row? Just requirement for the Crucible Knights. So the higher-ups know that there's nothing messy built in your soul's pass. Keeping the ranks pure is fine by me. I just wish there was more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers? He shifts his weight and glances at the empty halls. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but you can't just trust them. Honestly, in their nature, and they've learned to hide it over the years. He frowns and crosses his arms. All I'm saying is that they should at least be supervised by other folk. That's reasonable enough, isn't it? Sounds fair enough. Exactly, but it seems like you can hardly make a simple statement like that without someone wanting to draw steel over it. What goes on in Crucible Keep? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store arms and armor as well as many of our soldiers' bunk. That's all. Alright. So we know we're looking for a Orlan cipher. Anyone in here? We're going to close that. And we're going to steal everything. Anybody's got a new quest? Unwanted.
Finished.
Ooh, fine breastplate. Small horn helm. Do. Just breaking into the knight's place, stealing all their stuff. Not a big deal. Pinhelm!
Good day, stranger.
A young Noviet's armor is recently shined and his hair is clean and neatly combed. It's hard to believe he's ever seen battle or that the scarred antique breastplate he wears could possibly be his. Are you looking for something? How does someone become a knight? We just don't take anyone. Our members share sole legacy with the very men and women who defended this land a century and a half ago. He shifts his weight and cost. Anyhow, Commander Cliver is responsible for initiations, but he rarely accepts foreigners. Does the name Osric sound familiar? He sniffs. If you got any self-respect, you won't associate with him or with any of his new friends at the Expedition Hall. For that matter, scamps and delinquents. The lot of them. What's the story between you two? Osric has always held some controversial opinions, but they went overlooked for the longest time because his family has such an extensive history of the service of the Crucible Knights. He frowns and crosses his arms. He finally went too far. He had the goal to suggest that we had strayed too far from our roots and that some of our officers are beginning to resemble Edrier nobility. He rubs a spot on his bracer with a silk handkerchief. He would have us all wear rough spun and fight with forged hammers. I merely reported his statements. I don't see the problem. The history that made knights. Yeah, here we go. What good comes from sentimentality? We've outgrown that past. He waves a shining gauntlet. Sometimes you need to move on. Is that his breastplate you're wearing? It was. He looks down and admires it. It became property of the Crucible Knights when he was discharged. Now it's mine. And it's not for sale if that's what you're wondering. Not every day you find armor that was used in the rebellion. He says your Alpha David is a forgery. Just what would he know about that? It's perfectly convenient for him to cast aspersions. I cannot talk today. Well, with his pedigree in the Knights, he folds his arm. He blinks at you. It's a lie, of course, as should be perfectly obvious to someone as logical as you. Enough about Osric. Farewell. Alright, we got an update on this quest. Pinhelm seems to have taken Osric's armor for his own, but I have his affidavit in hand as a possible bargaining chip. Curran, the cipher who signed off on Pinhelm's affidavit, works at Harriet House in Brackenbury. Awesome. Close that.
I'll get it open. Finished.
See if there's any goodies in here. Is there anyone in here? No. Sweet.
Finished. I'll get it open. Finished.
We need all the money we can get.
Finished.
Sweet. Was there anything back here? No. Do. I want to see if I can find the commander. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Trolled. Alright.
We just don't have the men.
Aha, quest.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Haelmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Is there any way I can help? I know how to handle myself. Knights of the Crucible, slight positive. Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an Animancy scholar to build what we are calling Forge Knights. Warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some adjective throws a rock at them. We don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitiates have checked. Vienna lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to the Scriveners' dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Animancy is tolerated in most parts of the Republic. Some Valayans prefer the community in Defiance Bay for their research. I hope she hasn't been forced out of the city or worse. Once you have brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor that if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. Goodbye. Alright, sweet. So we have an update on that. Because we need to do as many quests for these guys as possible. Because of this right here. The Battle of Yenwood Field. So, Lord Gathbin is a guy that's trying to claim Cadnua. And essentially we're going to have a huge battle. So, right now we don't have the strength. I think we could probably beat it, but we take a lot of damage with it. So, there's a couple options. There's the Dozens that we can use. There's the Knights. I'm trying to focus on the Knights right now because it makes a little bit more sense. Have people that are well trained in combat go to a battle. I mean,
next time we get the
duh.
chance, I'm buying you a pint. That means a lot, Adair.
Assassins? What the hell is this?
Oh, do you want one too?
Whoa! Yeah, this is a thing. Where?
Yes.
What? Can you hit them back there?
What?
Alright, this is not good. We're gonna pop that. Pop it, pop it, pop it. Run. Why are you chasing him? Man,
Following your lead.
this is the stuff.
Oh,
Alright, well, we're about to lose our healer. Screw it. Everyone attack him. Oh, I guess that everyone died. Here, heal yourself.
always.
Gosh dang it.
Following your lead.
Not getting.
Yeah, now what?
You're not getting through.
You attack my healer, you die. Pretty simple. Ooh. Ooh. What was that note, though? We just had a thing. Where's the thing? There were things there.
All right then.
Well, that's dumb. Where'd the things go? Here, have a dope helm. I wish I could wear a helm. Man, I have no idea. It's gonna bug me. Because I have a feeling I was like something important. Oh, here we go. Scroll note. Written on the scrap of parchment is a concise but detailed description of you, including your name, your distinguished features, and everyone you're known to have been associated with in your brief time in Direwood. Sweet, alright. We're being hunted. Alright, so let's see here. Curran.
Gods keep you.
The Orland man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His weary hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers, Cadnua, gilded veil, old voices indeed. How did you know? As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? I'm not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus on talents elsewhere. Is this affidavit real? It's signed by you. He holds the page but seems to stare through the words as if something woven in fabric of the paper. Curran bears his pointed teeth. I remember Pinhelm, the pretty peacock of a man. His mouth dry and his hands moist when I told him that he was a sole descendant of an Adrian general, one who fought against Hadrit's rebellion. His skins of a forgery, not the first I've seen. His hands it back to you, but I've no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander, Cliver, and show him the seal. He points to the wax stamped by his forged signature. If he compares it with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Doom a man for the soul the gods gave him seems rather unfair. I was invited here by Lady Webb. He cocked his head the size of trying to get ready. Forgive me, she doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I have always marveled at her choices. Nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs. Looks like you could use some help. So many secrets and trials in the city. You have but to turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. He flicks an ear. Unfortunately, we haven't had the time to investigate them all. I'm supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of a cipher to be ruled by whims of curiosity. Tell me about these cases. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. He taps his clawed fingers together. 3 weeks and disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it a coincidence. I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trust you, so I shall trust you too. So long as our interests are aligned. I'll look into it. Where should I start? He grins, razor-tipped teeth showing between his lips. Copper Lane, Andre's Gift, and Blackenbury, of course. To talk to the ones who reported the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Ali, and Elka. Did you find any leads? Not yet. No obvious connection between the victims, which is what makes me wonder so. He runs his hand along the length of one ear. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects. The less sculprous types in particular. He pauses, deep in concentration. Seems too risky for the sanitarium. but one never knows. I wouldn't put it past them. Talk first to the people who reported our victims missing. Ma'am, will you catch something I missed? Who's missing? 2 men, 1 lady. Lindry, Kendall, and Cora. Tell me about Lindry. Alright. Sweet. See if we can talk to this Lady Webb while we're here. Oh, hey. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, her flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer vial over pale blue veins. Ink splotches and candle burns dot the stripe her hands like a quilt pattern after some great, indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading. So the messenger conveyed my summons, a miracle that would make...
The messenger conveyed my summons.
Okay.
A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aethys look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.